Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for coming to my workshop, and welcome to everybody online. Hopefully you can hear me all right, see me all right, and see the screen. So there you go. Well, certainly the people in the room can. So yeah, this is the workshop about how to have a presence online without compromising your presence offline. Basically, how can we do social media for very busy business owners who are busy doing their business and don't necessarily have time to do a lot of social media. Can everybody hear me all right, by the way? Just because, yeah. Ding, ding, dong. This was working. Oh. Different button. That's what it is. So a little bit about me. I'm Inge. I'm originally from Holland, hence the odd name, but I moved here a long time ago. I have a degree in international business and used to be an export sales manager for many, many years. Then I started Inge Dowden coaching in 2008. I have all the coaching qualifications, including NLP and disc profiling. So I've been running my business now for 15 years. Should have a party really, but I haven't done that yet. I do small business and career coaching. Basically, I help people to be happy and successful at work. Big focus on the happiness. Focus on happiness and success, as it says there. And I'm also the author of The Happy Worker, which is a book mainly for career coaching that's about how to find a job you love and love the job you have. So that's a little bit about me. So as a business coach, I work with small business owners who are very busy doing the things that they do. And they know they need to do social media, but they don't often like it unless you're an actual social media manager or, that is your business. So the plan for today is we're going to have a little quick look at and see why should you use social media, because, maybe you don't have to do it at all. Then which ones to use, a little bit about the basic rules. Then I'm going to give you the secret. And then we're going to work on your ideas. So this is going to be a little bit interactive. And I do really want you to question and interact. If it gets too much, I will keep an eye out on the time, obviously, so I'll move it along. But please feel free to comment or kind of go, oh, I don't agree, or I've been using this, or something like that. So feel free to do that, okay? It is a workshop, not just me talking at you. We'll start off like that, but then we're going to do stuff. So why use social media? Now, obviously, as a business owner, okay, we're not talking about private, as a business owner, of course, you could use social media to get more customers or sales. And that may be the only reason why you think you should be using it. Okay, but there's a lot more to it. You can use it to establish yourself as an expert. You can use it to improve your SEO, especially if you link your feeds, whatever it is, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, to your website, which you can do with various widgets. You are basically updating your website, and Google really likes it because you have fresh content. This is a really important one. What are people going to find when they look you up? So you've been out networking, you've been doing stuff, people have met you, and they're going to go, oh, let's have a look, because people will do that. What are they going to find? Nothing, a load of rubbish, or useful, relevant, interesting content that is aimed at them, the target audience. So that's a really important one. What are they going to find if they look you up? It's a great way to get feedback and interact with your audience. That goes all sorts of ways, of course. Sometimes it can end up in a little bit of a slagging match, but hopefully not. Hopefully you're doing great work and this doesn't happen. And you can do it to build customer loyalty. So it's a way, again, it's a way for people to connect with you. I'm sure you've all done it, where you've been trying to get a result from some company and trying to email or their customer support, and then you think, sod it, I'm going on Twitter, and suddenly you have an answer within 10 minutes. So that's one way of using it. So as you can see, there are lots of reasons to use social media, and it's not just about getting sales. In fact, I would go so far as to say that if you want sales from your social media, you need to use an expert. You need to not do it yourself, because these parameters change every 5 minutes. Something that worked one week doesn't work the next week. And you need somebody who is an expert in doing this and knows exactly what to do and does 15 different tests, A/B testing, and different tags and different photos and headlines, you name it. So if you want to get direct sales from it, then use an expert. But as you've seen before, getting sales is really not the only reason to do it. And the system I'm going to tell you about, the secret later on, I've been using that with many of my clients, and all of them have gotten business from it. But it's a longer term thing. It's the longer term, funnel, so to speak. So that's not what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at how you're going to do a more longer thing. Because if you look at the traditional customer life cycle, looks like this. It starts with attracting leads. So you're doing some stuff to attract leads. Now, leads are just leads. Then you want to make sure you capture the data one way or another. Then they are prospects. You're going to nurture those prospects so that at some point you can convert them into sales. Okay. Sometimes this goes very quickly. Very occasionally you get someone you meet 1 minute and then the next day bought something off you. But most of the time you need to nurture them, convert them into sales, then you deliver and delight them so that they will increase their purchases from you. They either buy more often or whatever, and they are generating referrals. So this is a really good general customer life cycle that everybody, doesn't matter what business you're in, you should be doing these things. And what we're going to do with this social media here, for people who don't like it, is nurturing our prospects. So you've done something to get them into your web, your social media web, and you are then going to give them lots of good stuff so that they go, "Ooh, I really like her. I'm going to buy from her. She's the one I want to buy from." So basically, you want to nurture your contacts. You want to stay in touch regularly, not just through social media. This can also be the other thing I really think you should do, is have an email campaign. So regular, good emails, not too many. You want to show off your expertise, so that they know what it is that you do. You want to answer their questions before they've even asked them, ideally. Remind them that you exist. This is really important because, I don't know about you, but if you've been in business for a while and you meet someone that you haven't seen for 5 years, 8 times out of 10, they're doing something else than what they did 5 years ago. So if people don't hear from you, they will assume you no longer exist. Okay, so it's your job to remind them that you exist. It's not, don't say, "Oh, but I have a website." Yeah. Who here just goes without prompting to someone else's website? I never do, You need the website, don't get me wrong, but yeah. And you want to be there when they are ready to buy. Most people know it takes on average 7 touches before someone is ready to buy from you. So the time, I know you're a hairdresser, and I always use that as an example. So let's say you've opened a new salon. So first thing, you put an A board outside. That's the sort of, attracting the leads. People walk past, they're going to go, "Oh, there's a new hairdresser." They will in their mind think, do I need a hairdresser? If you're a bold man, you don't need a hairdresser. So they will just pass by. Anybody with hair will think, "Oh yeah, I might do that." Then they're gonna, try and find information. Has anybody been there? What are people saying? What they like? And then eventually they're gonna go, "Oh, my hairdresser's gone on holiday. I really get my hair done. I'm gonna go and try these new people." So you need to be ready. And all through that time, you need to have somehow, reminded them that you exist. So that's what this social media is really good for. So if you have a nice, consistent presence on social media, you keep popping up, that's a great way to nurture your contacts. So now, what social media to use for business? That's quite funny because essentially you choose what you use. So I would say in business, you definitely want to use LinkedIn. B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter. B2C maybe less so, but certainly if you're B2B, LinkedIn is definitely one of them. Facebook is a good option, Twitter or whatever I call it now, even though I don't like it anymore. Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is fantastic. If you want to advertise on TikTok, it's cheap, but you take your life in your own hands. So, but there's lots of good things. My tip is it's up to you. Okay, so you have to do it. So pick something that you like. You know, if you don't like it, you're not going to do it. Do remember though that just because you don't like it doesn't mean your customers don't like it. One of my clients is an accountant and he doesn't like Facebook, but I keep telling him, but your customers might be on Facebook. You know, he works with consultants and freelancers. Well, they're just people, and people are on Facebook. You know, so pick the ones you like. Learn about that one. So try and become an expert in that one. Do it as well as you can. So rather than trying to be everywhere and doing it a little bit haphazardly and just try and do that one or two that you pick as well as you can, and really importantly, post consistently. So this is what happens to people who don't like social media. They go on some event, they go, oh yeah, I should be posting, post. Oh yeah, and then they get a little bit of hang of it, and suddenly they've got 20 posts, they all go out at once, and then 3 months they don't do anything. And that's just crazy. So don't do that. What you want to do is consistent drip feeding. And the other thing to remember is the people who don't like it, say, oh, I don't want to be on there. The good thing about social media is people only go on there when they want to. So you're not interrupting their day with a phone call or a message or whatever. They decide to go on social media, and if they see useful, relevant, interesting content that's related to you, that's their choice. So you're not bugging them, because I know that's one of the things that many women especially say, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't like, and I don't like being salesy. Well, don't be salesy. We've already said, if you want to be salesy and do a sales campaign, completely different beast. But nurturing your prospects, getting them ready to buy from you, that's something we're really good at. Or we should be really good at most of the time. So the basic rules. So basically, you choose whatever you want. I do LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm on Instagram, but I never do anything with it. I know Instagram can be fantastic. So again, it's up to you. But the rules for any of them are whatever you're posting has to be useful, relevant, or interesting. Okay? To your target audience, by the way. You want to post regularly. I say post every day. Okay, this is where usually people go, don't want to. You do have to interact when people interact with you. Okay, so if people like something or whatever, ideally you want to interact. You should normally be getting notifications if someone has interacted with you, so that shouldn't be too complicated. You still don't have to be on there all the time yourself. And you have to be a real person. It's social media, okay? They want to know about you. You have to put some of your own personality in there. You can't just be some sort of brand, even though you are a brand. It is not just about that. It's got to be about personality. And in fact, the really big companies, some of them are really good at that. Innocent Drinks are just fantastic. I mean, if you want to have fun, you watch Eurovision Song Festival with the Innocent Drinks Twitter feed, and it's just brilliant. They're just really, really good. And it helps with the image as well. So, basic rules. Now, secret. Don't post just once. If you create some fantastic content, don't post it once. This is what happens. People kind of go, oh, they sweat over a fantastic post and then goes out there like, oh, and then there's no interaction or very little. I don't like it, But if it was good now, it's going to be good in a month's time. So what you want to do, you want to create 84, yes, I said 84, evergreen posts. Evergreen meaning nothing related to any date, nothing Christmassy or Mother's Day or International Happiness Day, whatever, just general stuff that you can repeat. You schedule it on Social Pilot. Now, I prefer Social Pilot for a number of reasons, but obviously use whatever you want. Social Pilot is really good. It makes it really easy and really quick. And then you rinse and repeat. Okay? Very important. Yes?
Is that same graphic, if you're using graphics, the same graphic, everything?
Yes, the whole lot. The whole lot. Because if it's good, if it's useful, relevant, and interesting to your target audience in May. It's also useful, relevant, and interesting to your target audience in June and in August and in October. And we'll look at, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at some ideas for you that you can have to come up with evergreen posts. Because on top of this, once you've got this going, by the way, you can still do what I call live social media. Okay, so that's when you do react to something in the news, or you post something related to whatever is happening, or you just comment, or whatever, you see an article and you link to it. That's, you can do that on top. But let's get this first. I call it the foundation posts. So this is where people go, 84 posts. I can barely think of 3. Never mind 84. Now, why 84? That is 3 months worth, i.e. 12 weeks. Okay. Every week has 7 days because we're going to be posting every day. So that means you can either have 12 themes and then have 7 posts per theme. And the themes is what we're going to look at in a minute. Or you can do 7 themes and have 12 posts per theme. If you have 7 themes, you would have, for example, a Monday motivation, a Tuesday tip, a Wednesday wonker, a Thursday something else, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, you would have something for each day of the week. Or if you have a theme, you can have this week's theme is this, next week's theme is that, etc. And suddenly, once you've come up with the themes, it's a whole lot easier to come up with 7 posts on that one theme. Because you all know what you're talking about. You know your business, and you know what people need and what they want, and you know what you're talking about. So it isn't that hard. Okay. So a good post, every post should, again, have useful, relevant, interesting info, targeted at your ideal customer. So don't target for everyone. Just don't write for everyone. Write for your ideal customer. It includes a link to your website. Now, big caveat, by the way, many sites, LinkedIn especially, don't like it when you link away from their site. Okay, they want links. Doesn't matter. Okay, these are foundation posts. You're not going to stress about making it utterly perfect and this, that, and the other. You want a link because the goal of social media is to get them to your website, which is where you can do your selling. Is to get them interested enough to kind of go, oh, let's check that out, what that is. So it includes a link. You may not get a lot of engagement, interaction with that particular post, but because you're posting regularly, it's all right. Every post has to have a good image and relevant hashtags. Okay. Now, hashtags. So when I do this as a workshop as well, an all-day workshop. And the big thing is try not to stress too much about it. You can start these things and then add hashtags in later because you're repeating it. You know, nothing is ever wasted. So if you think of something good 2 months in, you just add them to the ones that you've got already scheduled, and they're going into the original document, and they'll be rescheduled next time. So, but ideally, you want some good hashtags. So. Now we're going to come up with some ideas, and this is where, you might want to take some notes, and where I want you to start thinking about. Although I'm still going to do some more examples, and then I'm going to repost this slide while you're thinking about your themes, okay? So things you could post. First of all, testimonials. 100% definitely one of your 12 themes. So let's assume we're going for 12 themes. One of your 12 themes should be testimonials. You only need 7 testimonials. If you're just recently started, you may have some from before. You could, find some anyway. So testimonials, really good. Tips, also always handy. Tips on a variety of themes again. Case studies, different from testimonials. How to, really, really important and much used. Inspirations. So again, depending on what you want to project. So for example, I want to be seen as somebody who is inspirational, and I want to inspire people. So I have, one of my things is inspirational quotes. So they're either my own, or I pick quotes that I find inspirational and then I repost them. Photos, just so obviously this also depends on your business, but photos are really good. I had a guy who's got a vegan what was it, vegan gluten-free bakery. So I said, oh, brilliant, just lots of pictures of delicious cakes, for sure. Recipes, if what you do is recipe based. Opinions, very careful, okay? Unless you stand for something and that is what you want your target audience to know, and it's really important. But other than that, I would always say, I got told this by a guy who said, okay, so try not to be too political and or whatever. And this was the day before the Brexit vote. And I sat in that workshop. I was like, yeah, no, I've been really good. Years ago, somebody said to me, only post things that you're willing to have printed on a billboard with your mother driving past. Okay. So I'm, generally not sort of thing. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, what the actual, and I was like having a massive rant, and then he literally he emailed me and said, did you not listen to what I said? I said, oh, you're sorry. And I just kind of made it private again. But yeah, so be a bit careful. Quotes, like I said, so inspirations can be, for example, let's say if you're an architect, and it can be things that you find inspiring, buildings that you like, or people that you find inspiring. Quotes is a different thing. Interesting facts, that's really nice. I did this again for my accountant client, and it was just interesting facts about credit. There are interesting facts about credit. There really are. Like debtor prisons, they existed, and they were only phased out not that long ago. I mean, quite long ago now. I don't remember exactly when. So interesting facts. FAQs. Remember, you're the expert. What can you post to show off? So literally one question, one post. Easy to come up with 7 questions. Recommendations. So that can be, if you recommend certain products, for example, or I know there's or systems, PAs, VAs and stuff, and you can say, hey, this is great if you want to use this. This integrates with that, whatever, recommendations. Bloopers, if you do lots of videos and stuff, that's good. Videos can also be included, by the way, but in this case, we're only doing images because we're starting off easy. If you don't like social media, I'm guessing you don't like videos of yourself. Really important, I don't know why I put it last, your blog posts. This is what I mean. Don't post something once. You've created an amazing blog post. Maybe you have linked to it once, but why not every time? Your blog post probably contains at least 5 or 7 good points. So distill the individual points out of the blog post, create them as 7 posts, and link them, put them in your schedule. So a really easy way to do it. And because, again, let's face it, nobody goes to your website. You might want them to, but they just don't. So how do you find your themes? So I hope this is useful, and like I said, this will come back. This slide will come back when we look at it later. And I want you to think of some of your own. But so what really helps is when you find your themes, and the easiest way to find them is to kind of go like, okay, so who is your ideal client? And if you don't know this, then you definitely need a little bit of coaching, because that is, step 1 in everything. What are their pains? So one of your theme can just be their pains, and then how you help them, obviously. What do they need? Which might be different from what do they want. Okay, that whole thing about how do you give a dog a pill? You stick it in a piece of steak. He wants the steak, but he needs the pill. But if you just come at him with the pill, they go, don't want it. Yeah, but don't care that I need it. Don't want it. Also, what do you want to be known for? So like I said, I want to be sort of seen as inspirational, and I do a whole thing about happiness. And so I want people to know that I'm happy, and happy is all it's all about. So a lot of my posts are around that. And how do you help? So you are absolutely allowed. So what you don't want to be doing is salesy in this scenario, but you do want to explain So you want to say, hey, in my one-to-one coaching sessions, people get really lots of attention, or we can really work on a specific problem, or whatever it is. So you can explain, the services you offer. So how do you help? So just an example of some of my themes. So you've already known, so small business owners is my ideal client, people who are a little bit overwhelmed and who are not getting the results from the business that they want. So my themes, time management is a big one. I have lots of time management tips, because most of the time people, I haven't got time for a coach. That's always my favorite one. Sales and marketing. So I've got lots of tips on writing sales letters or marketing, networking, various ways of this social media. So this whole information is in a blog post and a guide that I constantly send out. Team performance, I do. So there's all sorts of things about how to get along with people, because I do the DISC profiling, vision and goal setting, making more profits. It's also important for business owners. How to be happy. So lots of things are just around that, and work-life balance. So this is an example of my themes, so that hopefully you get the idea of the themes. So once you have a theme, you see, let's say work-life balance, it is then so much easier to come up 7 ways you can improve your work-life balance. I have a blog post with 10 ways. I can think of 20 ways, so that's not hard. Images, we're going to briefly touch on. So the image conveys your message. So it has your contact details on. You want it to be shareable. So that's why you have to have all this information on it, so that just in case they share it, it then doesn't get lost who it was from, and can stand alone. Okay, so without the post, because most people scroll, they see an image they like, and then maybe they'll read the post. Okay, I'm sure you're all the same, unless you are really into not seeing images and wanting text alone. Use Canva for images. I feel like everybody knows about it now, but just in case you don't, it's really brilliant. Canva.com. It's free to use. Well, it is free to use, but they are putting a lot more behind the paid now. So they're really forcing you to get paid. But it's 100 quid a year, I think so. And if you use it a lot, I think you can sign up for a month for free. So if you get your 84 posts done, then you're done and dusted. You get the right dimensions, so that's really handy. And once they're created, they're your images, because really important. Don't just get images from Google search. They will find you, and they will fine you, as I have found out. So use the free sites. Pexels and Splash, Pixabay are some good ones. I'm not going to go too much into this technical stuff, because it's going to be too long, but I want you to have a think about your themes in a minute. So I want you to have some time to do that. So here are some that I have. So this is I do a group coaching thing as well called Business Breakthrough. So this is a testimonial. So ideally, you want a picture of the person who gave the testimonial. You want to say what it is, and then who she is, and join us there. So this image on its own is fine. Okay, all of them look like that, and that's the other thing, is a way to build your brand. Have your colors. Canva really lets you have your 3 main colors, and then it's quite easy to plonk them in everywhere. This is one of the tips. So I do again, so I've got an overall image with my website at the bottom, and then just an overlay, and that is from a blog post that has like 10 sales tips, and I just pick them apart, and there's a post, and then obviously in the text it links to the thing. This was, see, I won the Speaker of the Year here in the Women's Business Conference in 2019. I posted this on LinkedIn to sort of get people to come here, and people were like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! Well done!" It was like, that's 4 years ago. But I like this because it's got a picture, and then it's got a lot of space for text. So I'm only showing this to sort of show you some examples of how you can create images where you can have text in there, and all the useful information as well. And it's still not overwhelming. What you don't want is an image with a lot of text, or just a lot of text. The text is in the text. The image is the image. And then this is how it looks, when you have it, find out more there. So there's a link to my website, which it automatically does it. And then, yeah. So there you go. So this is where we're going to go over to you.